Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium, and today I'm going to be channeling a message as I do on Wednesdays for my series Wisdom on Wednesdays for you. This is one video a week series where the spirit guides give you a message. And oftentimes it's about self-help or raising your vibration or something useful that humans would need to know at this time. Now, I can channel where I completely become a vessel 100% for my spirit guides, but I prefer to channel it like this, which is a blend of 60% Susan, 40% spirit guides. That can change. Sometimes it goes up to 70 or 80, and sometimes it goes down to 100% spicy Susan. So you'll see that here in this video. I hope not, but not to that degree, not to that extreme, but you may. So let's get started. Today, they want to talk about reinstalling your soul light. So you guys were all familiar with removing an app on our phone, removing software, and reinstalling it, right? Like the app is broken, it's glitchy, it's buggy, it's not working right. What do? We delete it and we go and we reinstall it. It's sort of like restarting your phone or restarting your laptop or your tablet, whatever. It gives you it refreshes everything. Okay. Now, why do they want to talk about reinstalling your soul light? Well, because as babies, when we come here, when we incarnate into this lifetime, we have a clean soul light. Now, I'm not going to make this complicated because then it starts talking about soul contracts and it starts talking about a lot of things that I've done in other videos. To be honest with you, you can find a whole bunch of videos on my playlist. If you just click the little swirly logo, you'll go straight to my main channel. Click WOW, W-O-W. When I'm channeling, I don't even know how to spell. And then you'll go there. So, but today, let's just keep it clean and simple because this is a very important message. And that is you come here with a pretty untarnished soul light. Yes, you have soul contracts. Yes, you decided to incarnate with this particular family, which has its own lessons and whatnot involved. Yes, you also chose to incarnate at this particular astrological pinpointed time frame, which also layers over some more important themes in your life. That all being true, and that all being something you cannot change. Okay, so this is the point here, I guess, that those things are pre-installed. They're not changeable. That is such, I love the way I don't know this analogy they're using, but they're going with it. So this is what we're doing. Those things are pre-installed. So your soul light, other than those things, clear. You can react to those things any way you want to. And this is an important thing because this is your free will. This is your free choice coming to play. Yes, you may have been born into a certain family or born into no family. Whatever the situation is, you get to choose how to react to that stimuli. Okay? So, what happens is, as a child, well, we choose survival, don't we? We choose to survive, whatever that means for us, whether that means we learn to not talk back. We learn that emotions are bad. We learned that perhaps to numb our feelings in some way, whether that is through exercise and sports, grades, or even some sort of outside substance, or even reading, escaping. So you learn survival techniques to deal with your family, to deal with your culture, to deal with whatever it is that's going on that you do not personally feel attuned to or supported by. So as this happens, your soul light sort of gets dimmed, or it's not dimmed, this is the wrong term. It gets covered up. It gets covered up with coping mechanisms, is what they want to say. So you have that coping mechanism of escaping through books or through study, being a straight A student, or a coping mechanism of exercise, or coping mechanism of some other behavior in your life. Could be around food or coping mechanism around anger, any number of coping mechanisms. And there's no judgment here. Never, ever, ever, ever does source, does spirit, does the higher ascended masters or God or whatever you want to call it judge you. There is no judgment here. They understand how difficult our lives are here on this plane of existence, on this planet. And we have to do what we need to do to cope with the situation. But it's also a free choice thing at some point in your life. You can say, okay, as a child, as a young adult, as an adult, I chose these coping mechanisms to deal with X, Y, Z, whatever it is, doesn't matter. At some point, they would like for us to have what they're calling a second wake up. So your first wake up was, voila, you're a human. You are now a baby. Your soul has gained consciousness through human form as a baby. That was your first wake up. Then you go through life doing the best you can, coping, reacting to stimulus, and then you have a second wake up. This is what they're talking about now. Reinstalling your soul light is the second wake up. Now, this can happen when you're 96. It can happen when you're 26. It can happen when you're 16. It can happen anytime. It doesn't matter. They don't care. It's not a race. There's no grades. They don't care. They, again, understand how hard it is here. And I would say that you can have multiple wake ups. You can have a real wake up at 16 or 36, it doesn't matter, or 96, it doesn't matter. And that can take you on a new journey. You can have a new awareness. You can reinstall your soul light. And then, well, life hands you more things. Life hands you more lessons or hands you more challenges, or perhaps even hands you beautiful things and happy things and amazing things. Regardless, that stimulus. And then you're working with that stimulus. And then maybe you put your soul light back on the back burner because you won the lottery, because you met the love of your life. And now you're going on a new direction with someone else. Or you started that career, or you got retired and you're now so happy. So the stimulus changed and you sort of put, again, the soul light on the back burner. I hope this is making sense to you. Okay. You understand that it can be good things, it can be bad things. Now, let's define what is the soul light anyway, Susan. Okay, we get it, but what is it? And why are we disregarding it, right? Okay. Now, it's not that difficult. Your soul light is your self-worth. Your soul light is your love, is your soul's light. Humans, and they want to use the word humans worldwide, humans have been taught to diminish or disregard their soul light in the um, service of others, in the service of the greater good. And right, we do that at work, right? It's not about you, it's about this job that you need to do, and in exchange for this job you'll get some kind of monetary payment, and then you'll be able to pay your rent. It's a whole sort of ecosystem, right? Which is fine, that they're not complaining about that, but they're saying that, especially right now, this energy that humans are going into right now in this age. Right now, we're doing this in 2024, in June of 2024. As we go into the 2020s and the 2030s, this is no longer supported. I mean, this is what they're telling me. Hiding your soul light is going to be harder to do. And there's going to be more energy around locating your soul light, finding it, and then reinstalling it or allowing it to shine. Now, when I see that energy is going to be more prevalent around that, I'm seeing movies, I'm seeing social media, I'm seeing our society sort of saying, sort of celebrating people's uniqueness and love for one another and love for ourselves. And it could also come in this sense of, as a human, I'm no longer willing to prostrate myself or to give more than I'm receiving. So again, it's a balancing, right? It's a balancing that's going to be happening throughout our world. And honestly, they said cosmos. I don't know what they mean by that. Perhaps this energy goes beyond the planet. Maybe this is a intergalactic and interstellar is the word they want to use, energy. So there's a balancing that's happening in our cosmos. That's interesting to me. I don't know where that came from, but I would like to just stay with planet Earth for a minute because I think that's who I'm talking to is Earthlings. So for you, reinstalling your soul light means to find your true north, is what they're saying. Find your soul path, your soul journey through your own compassion and empathy and love for who you are. Now, this doesn't mean giving yourself a pat. Like they just showed me this picture of people want to tell me, well, what if this person is a bad person, right? What if this person does evil things, right? So those people already think those people already are in love with themselves. They already think that they are the best thing ever, right? That those aren't the people. Those people have other problems. Those people need to find their soul light too, because their soul light is not one of evilness or one of taking advantage. When we fall in love with ourselves, it's not selfish. This is the thing that I think they're trying to help us all understand. When we find our own worth, it's not being selfish in the least. Once you find your own soul light and you reinstall it and you say, I am, all of us are, a flawed human being. However, I like this. I'm worthy of this. I'm aiming to get that. I will no longer accept less than this. That's not selfish. That's being in alignment with a beautiful soul that you are. Not all souls are the same. Some beautiful souls are crotchety. Fine, that we're not judging. We're not trying to say that we're trying to make everybody into some sort of generic version of each other. That's the beauty, particularly anyway, of planet Earth. You can be a beautiful soul light and on the outside be crotchety, you know, but on the inside, and people don't even know this, but you're a very giving and kind person. It does a lot for people, but your coping mechanism to keep people at bay is to be crotchety. Okay. So as long as you as long as you realize that you're worthy of love, you're worthy of light, that you are loved, that you have an ascended master, a group of ascended masters, a group of spirit guides and angels that love you unconditionally, period, end of story. You are in alignment with your soul light. Choose things that make you happy. Again, your soul light would not be something that the what is that word they're using? The expression of your soul light would not be to harm another person. The expression of your soul light would not be to take from another person. The expression of your soul light is not about lack or judgment because it has nothing to do with anybody else. That's why it doesn't work like that. It's all about you. What do I need to be healthy? What do I need to be happy? What do I need to feel okay? To feel cherished, loved, understood, worthy. It's not out there. Your soul light source is not out there. If this person loves you, it's not going to make you feel any more worthy, honestly. If you get that job, it's not going to make you feel any more worthy. You can still feel empty because the job is in here, your soul light. Now, how do you discover what your soul light is? How do you discover where it is? How do you, you know, help it? How do you take care of it? What do you do? Okay. What how you reinstall your soul light is you start to say things to yourself like, I am worthy, I am loved, I'm okay, I'm going to be okay. So again, we're going to go back to this coping mechanism of being a child and really this fight or flight energy, right? Survival. And maybe you had a great childhood. Maybe you're like, Susan, this doesn't make any sense because I had a great childhood. Then great. I'm very happy for you. It doesn't matter. You can still find your soul light. You can still grow your soul light. You can still grow your soul no matter what happened, whether you had a fantastic childhood or a terrible childhood. Maybe you had a great childhood, but there was one relationship that really knocked you down and you really never recovered from it, even though through your coping mechanism, you put on a brave face and everybody thinks you're the cat's meow. But on the inside, you feel hollow. On the inside, you feel unworthy. On the inside, you feel numb. If that's going on for you, your soul light has been covered up with layers of coping mechanisms that aren't working. They're not working. It's just numbing the pain. Okay. So, how to reinstall your soul light is to go back to these tactics that the spirit guides talk a lot in my Wisdom on Wednesday or my WOW videos, which is be gentle and kind to yourself. Learn to catch when you're being critical of yourself. If you hear yourself in your own head saying, my God, you made a stupid mistake, or why did you choose this relationship, or why did you, get in this job? Why do things never work out for me? How come I'm always facing challenges? Why do things just don't work out for me when they do other people? Why am I so tired? You may not even realize you're numb because that's what numbness does. Its point is to remove you from the connection to your soul light and the connection to your physical body and the connection to really your path, your soul's journey here on this planet. So, how we're going to reinstall our soul light is we're going to be gentle with ourselves. We're going to say things like, okay, this job is terrible. I don't like the way I'm treated. I don't like my boss. I don't like my pay. I'm very unhappy. The first step is to acknowledge where you are. I don't like my relationship because of XYZ. I don't like my body because of XYZ. I don't like my living situation because of XYZ. Now, we don't want to get into a bashing sort of energy. We don't want to get into this energy of, I hate my body because I'm overweight or I'm underweight and I don't feel well and I'm unhealthy and nothing's ever going to get better. Okay, that's the wrong thing. That is coping mechanisms. Nothing's ever going to get better. That's not true. I'm sure you've lived a long enough time now to realize that things change. Sometimes surprisingly. Sometimes they get better, sometimes they get worse, but they don't stay the same. So if you catch yourself sliding down that hill, that's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're talking about right now. Stop that and learn to catch it and say, oh, okay, wait. Let me Rephrase that. I don't like my body. I don't like my job. I don't like my relationship. Whatever it is. I don't like it. It's horrible. I'm unhappy. Wow, did you just admit to yourself you're unhappy? You know what? We are afraid to admit to ourselves that we're unhappy because once we say that to ourselves, we kind of sort of have to do something about it. So then instead, we have a coping mechanism of numbness. Okay. But once you admit the problem to yourself, acknowledge it. Do not judge it. Do not try to solve it. Just admit it. Wow, it seems like I'm unhappy with this situation. Wow, okay. I knew I was unhappy, but I didn't really realize how unhappy I was. And now that I'm really feeling into this, I'm really unhappy. Now, you know what I want you to switch into is compassion. Compassion. Treat yourself like you would a little animal, a little cat, dog, duck. I don't even care. Or a baby or a child that whacked their finger or fell down and is coming to you and they're crying. Or this puppy is crying because it's upset. You're going to be compassionate. You're going to scoop it up and give it a hug. And you're going to tell it, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Everything's going to be okay." And you're going to calm it down, right? You're not going to whack it in the head and say, "Shut up." Maybe that happened to you as a child, but you're not going to do that. So don't do it to you. Don't whack yourself in the head and say, "Shut up." Nobody wants to hear your whining, Susan, right? Okay, that's not helpful. Instead, once you acknowledge something's not working, you're going to be compassionate. Wow. Okay. I am so sorry, Susan, that you're not happy. I have compassion for you. Wow. Not you big dummy, you should have chose differently. Big difference in the energy. I hope you can see it. Being compassionate is reinstalling your soul light, is reinstalling the innocence of a child. That's what we need to do here. We need to reinstall the innocence of the child. Reset, reinstall, and if you need to, forgive yourself. You were an SOB. Yep, that is true. You could have treated that person better. That is true. I'm not saying it in judgment. I'm saying it in acknowledgement. There's a big difference in the energy here. Then forgive yourself. Okay, you really were not the person that you think you are or you wanted to be in that situation. And there's a lot of reasons for it that doesn't matter. But you know what? I'm going to forgive myself because I'm now becoming the person. I'm moving in the direction of the person I want to be. And you know what? I did what I did, and I'm sorry for it. And maybe I can make amends, or maybe I can't. Maybe that person's crossed over. It doesn't matter because making amends with you and just saying a prayer, sending energy to living or deceased, the person, the situation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that. Please forgive me. And then move on. Don't get stuck in that rabbit wheel, that hamster wheel of recrimination. Again, that doesn't work. You're not going to go anywhere. It's a wheel. You're just running the same wheel over and over again. You're not getting anywhere. We want to acknowledge it, forgive ourselves, move on. Allow yourself to reinstall your soul light means moving on, right? Now, so you're going to catch yourself when you do negative talk, critical talk. These are all things I've done, by the way. I'm living proof that this works because I wouldn't be on a video in front of you if I hadn't done the work. Because I didn't think I was good enough. Because I really struggled with all of these things. And I have a very negative self-talk, very critical. In the guise of helping myself get better. in the guise of, you know, you got to learn from your mistakes, Susan. Tough love. Tough love. You big dummy. Why did you do that? You big dummy. That is not helping anybody. It's not helping you. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't. All it does is keep you small and keep your soul light hidden. Okay, so we're going to learn to catch our critical thinking, critical talking to ourselves. Then we're going to learn that we are worthy. And these are all things I've talked about in a lot of other videos, but I'm talking about it because the spirit guides think it's important to continue with this message. So one of the new coping mechanisms. So we had coping mechanisms that were to help us cope with outside influences that were bigger or more damaging to us than we could handle. And now we're saying, I'm in the driver's seat. I'm getting off the hamster wheel. I'm going to take responsibility for everything in my life, but I'm also going to do it in a compassionate way. And I'm going to reinstall the soul light. I'm going to get rid of all these bugs and viruses, whatever these things are that were inflicting my computer, my hard drive. I'm going to get rid of those by reinstalling, going back to the source, to the original source, the OG, reinstalling it back to the baby, the innocence, before all the coping mechanisms covered up my soul light. So you can look in the mirror. I'm telling you this works. I'm telling you it works. You can look in the mirror and say, I love you. You are worthy. You are special. You are smart. You are perfect the way you are right now. Your body is perfect. We have our humans, just especially Americans, do not like their bodies. We don't live in our physical body. We live in our head. We look in the mirror like this briefly, and then we go to work or we go out or whatever we do. We don't even know we have a body. Start connecting back to your body. I love you. You're worthy. You are loved. You're going to look in the mirror in your own eyeballs and you're going to say this to yourself. Another thing that you can do to reinstall your soul light is to, and this is how you do it, guys. You don't do it by removing people that have made you mad. I know it sounds counterintuitive, right? But those people are going to leave your life, or they're going to get on board with loving you. But you don't do it in the outward way. You do it in the inward way. You can fire everybody in your life. You can fire your family. In other words, you can walk away from them. No contact, little contact. You can quit that job and go get a better one. But if you're seeing a pattern in your life of bad bosses, bad jobs, disappointing love relationships, situations where people step on you, disrespect you, even physically harm you, and you've said, never mind, I'm going to live by myself. I'm not going to have contact with anybody. That's a coping mechanism. Or you say, my God, I must be, this bad karma or whatever, coping mechanism. My God, why do I always have this? I just don't know why my life is so hard. What did I do to ask for this? Coping mechanism. Instead, go within and start loving yourself. Start valuing yourself. Start talking to yourself. Again, acknowledge, wow, I made a mistake. That was a mistake. No doubt about it. That's a mistake. However, thankfully, I made mistakes in my life and I know how to fix it. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to make this mistake anymore because I'm acknowledging it and I think I understand it on a new level and I don't need to repeat it. That's magic. That is flat out magic. When you talk to yourself like that, you are not going to repeat that same mistake. If you say, why is that person such a jerk? Why is this boss such a biatch? Why is my kid treating me bad? Why is the house, why? You're not learning any lessons. You're simply complaining. You're on the hamster wheel. When you go within and you acknowledge, okay, I think I got here because I married this person who disrespects me. And now I see it, and now I kind of don't know what to do about it, but I'm acknowledging it. And you know what? I'm starting to really love and respect myself more and more. And the fact that they're not respecting me isn't really working for me. And now I'm starting to feel stronger. And now I'm starting to feel more valuable. And because of these changes on the inside, a couple of things are going to happen. You're going to get that extra money you need to leave that relationship. You're going to get the extra energy you need to leave that relationship because you're not going to care what they think. You don't care anymore what that spouse thinks, what that child thinks, what that friend thinks, what that boss thinks. You don't give a damn because you care what you think. And when you care what you think and you're in your own value, your own soul light is now able to shine, it'll point you right to your North Star. It'll point you in the direction that is the best direction for your soul. And want to know what? When that happens, it's synchronicity. Synchronicity after synchronicity after synchronicity. Doors open, green lights happen, money flows in, respect and love flows in, health flows in, everything gets better. And you want to know what happens too? All those people who've been a pain in your backside, they either get with the program and get help themselves of their own volition. This isn't you making them. You're not making them do anything. Remember, this is all you. You doing this in your container, in your human. This is it. This is all you have control over. You don't have control over nothing else. But once you change your vibration, that changes everything on the outside. Because those people, to stay with you, have to either change their vibration to match yours through free will, through choice, getting couples therapy, getting help, whatever it is that they choose to do. Or if they choose not to do that, then you're not, it's like two magnets repelling each other. You're not going to stay together because you don't match, because there's nothing there to keep you together. Because your vibration doesn't match theirs anymore. And they'll naturally move on, or you will naturally move on. It won't be this big gnashing and tearing and fighting, because all of that energy is about wounding. I'm going to divorce that SOB. I'm going to take half. That's wounding. You're still thinking about the other person. I'm going to quit this job and this boss is going to be sorry. You're still thinking about the other person. Big difference. When you come inside and you reinstall your own soul light, you're like, wow, I don't know. I'm feeling better about myself, and I'm feeling less like I want to get involved in office politics. And I'm feeling like, I'm kind of feeling, this is a big one, when you feel compassion for the SOBs in your life. When you feel compassion for your boss, you're like, God, I kind of feel sorry for him. And your coworker's like, what? Like, what? What are you talking about? Well, look at him. This person is clearly not well. I mean, look at them. They're in a terrible place. You can actually have compassion for them. Compassion doesn't mean you stick around to be a victim. It means that you have now healed yourself and being compassionate for your own faults, your own imperfections, shortcomings. And now you have more compassion for other people, but not in a way of codependency, in a way of, wow, yeah, I've been there. I've been in those, and that kind of crappy energy. Feel sorry for you. I hope you can work through it okay. Once you change your energy to that, you're going up and over them. You're moving beyond them. to a new boss, a new coworker, a new spouse, lover, friend, hometown, living situation, even health that matches that new connection to your original soul light. The guides want to say it's that easy. I sometimes don't like when they say that because as a human, I don't find it very easy, but I have to tell you guys that it is crazy easy because even in my own life right now, there's a big challenge that I've been going through that I've been trying to solve with my brain, with my willpower, right? Like, I'll figure this out, you know? And the more you get into your human trying to solve things and trying to even get guidance, but through your brain, it's limited. Your brain is limited, very limited, because of your all the time you've been on earth, all of the relationships and all of the limiting beliefs, all of the coping mechanisms, all of your set point through your astrology and through your numerology and through your, your parents and your culture. All of that goes into this kind of stew pot of your brain, and you cannot think clearly. That's why they're trying to say, if you reset to zero, if you reset to your soul light, you're basically kind of throwing all that out. Now, I'm not saying you have to throw out your family or your parents or your kids. I'm not saying you have to throw them out. I'm saying that you have to throw out the coping mechanisms around them. You can love your kids, always will, till the day you die. But they may be humans that disrespect you. And therefore, you don't want to be a victim to that, because if you're a victim to that, you're creating more problems for them. You're creating more problems for you. So instead, you say, I love you, but I'm not going to be your victim. And if you choose to treat me like this or talk to me like this, I'm not going to be in contact with you. End of story. Okay. So when you, so finding your soul light and reinstalling it actually helps those people, because then they see, oh, mom, dad is not playing this role anymore. Let me pay attention what is happening. Oh, wow. They look super happy. They've never looked better. What are they doing? What is going on? Let me see if I can learn from that. We learn by example. We learn to talk by hearing other people talk. We learn to walk by watching adults walk. Don't be the example of a victim. Be the example of, no, I'm not going to allow you to victimize me. I don't care if I have your whole life. I'm not doing it now. Teach them that their behavior is unacceptable. But you're also teaching you that behavior for me is unacceptable too. It has to start here. It's unacceptable for me to treat myself less than. It's unacceptable for me to be critical to myself. It's unacceptable to me to treat myself like I don't matter or I'm unworthy. It all starts here. Once you get to a place here of being back in your soul light, then what a gift to those around you. What a beautiful gift to those around you, because you are leading by example. So do the things to raise your own vibration. Again, compassionate self-talk, empathy towards yourself, saying things to yourself to rewrite those old kind of scripts, code, to rewrite that old code. It doesn't no longer work. I'm worthy. I'm beautiful. I'm acceptable. I'm lovable. I'm smart. I'm a good parent. Yeah, say those things to yourself. Then start realizing, what is it that I want? This is a big one. What do I want? Do I want to take a nap? Do I want to be lazy? Do I want to go on a trip? Do I want to eat this particular kind of food today? Stand up for yourself. Your soul light is shining. If you say, I feel like having this today, and the people in your life, be they children, spouse, coworkers, boss, whatever, say, no, you can't do that, then you get to have a choice. Is this acceptable? Do I really need to work until 8 p.m. tonight? Is this acceptable? Am I worthy of saying no? Am I worthy of saying to my spouse, no, I don't want to go do this? You go. And you're going to say it with love, not with wounding. It's not passive aggressive. It's nothing. It's simply, I don't want to go. And of course, are you okay? What's the matter? Why are you being so bitchy? Oh, I'm not being bitchy. I just don't want to go. But they're going to poke you, they're going to prod you, they're going to try to tell you you've changed, they're going to try to tell you you're different or you're not the same or you're not loving or whatever. But you're going to be immune to that because you're literally coming from your soul, your heart. It's not up for discussion. It's my soul. It is who I am. Take it or leave it. Or compromise with me to the degree that I can. But I'm now me. This is who I've always been. And I'm worth not changing to make myself something else for someone else. Reinstalling your soul light can change your entire life. It will change your entire life. Period. End of story. So make choices for you, love yourself, raise your vibration, be gentle and loving and kind with yourself. Check in with yourself. What do I need? Simple question. What does my body need right now? When I ask that question to me, I get water. I need water. Oh, okay. Maybe you might get rest. I need rest. I need to move. I feel like moving. I want to be creative. I want to listen to music. I want to escape in a book. That's beautiful because it's coming from your soul light, not from your coping mechanism. You're not reading a book because you hate your life. You're reading a book because you want to read a book. See the difference? Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. I have classes, I have events, and I have a vibrant, really fun, it's actually rocking online community with over 400 of you guys that post your dreams, talk about each other about things that happen in your life, be they spiritual or, your earthly life, whatever it is. But it's a great support community. It's a great support system for everybody, for like-minded people. I hope you think about joining us there. It's $12 a month. You can join, cancel anytime you want. It's very reasonable. And also, I'm there. I do every 2 weeks, I do a thing called Soul Growth Sunday, which is a lot of fun. And it's actually about growing your soul. So that's something that you also get there too. Take really, really good care of yourself. If you feel like this content was helpful, please subscribe, like, share, comment. Those things all really help the video reach a wider audience. Also, once again, click the little swirly logo and go to the main YouTube channel. Go to playlist. You'll see a tab across the top. Click playlist. Go to WOW. You guys, there's a whole library there for you of videos like this that are meant to help you, that are channeled. There's also some interesting topics about soul contracts, aliens, Sasquatch, ghost, souls, a whole library, spiritual library for you that's free, that you can watch and learn from and hopefully grow your soul. Thanks again for watching. Take really good care of yourselves and know you are worthy. You are loved.